What's up, guys, and welcome back. This is a 2023 Kia Stinger GT2 rear-wheel drive, and thanks to my friends at Gettle Kia in Bradenton, Florida, I have the opportunity to bring it to you on my channel. So we're going to do a complete tour of this vehicle. At the end of it, we're going to take it for a spin. Before we do all that, if you can do me a quick favor, if you like watching videos like this, scroll down to the right-hand side of your screen, find that little red subscribe button, go ahead and hit that. Help me reach my goal of 10,000 subscribers by the end of this year. Really means a lot to me. With that said, let's get back to this vehicle. Before we get up close and personal with this particular vehicle, let's talk about Stinger for a second. So Kia first introduced the Stinger back in 2018, and right away it has as many enthusiasts and fans as many skeptics. And that's because people didn't believe that Kia can produce a luxury sporty sedan that can go up against the German competitors such as Mercedes-Benz C-Class or BMW 3 Series or Audi A4. Not to even mention the Japanese vehicles such as Acura TLX. Now, 5 years later, it's a completely different story. There's no more non-believers. This vehicle definitely has the luxury, the performance, and the looks that can go against the best of them. And let's take a look at what happens right here. Big long hood. I even like this fake trim pieces right here. Makes it look completely different, more athletic, more muscular. Now, with the lights right here, very nice lights, fully LED. It does have those daytime running lights, kind of the upside down browns. Or also, if you look inside of this light, it has this carbon looking trim. And what I like about it, check out that turn signal. Now, if I hit that lock button right here, look at this. It does have this amber turn signals. It's consisted of many of those LED mini lights right there. Brand new Kia logo. Now, I love this smoked chrome grille with black with a little bit of this polished aluminum. And then right here you have the front view camera behind this piece right here. That's where a lot of the safety technology hides, right behind it. And then the bottom portion is open as well. That allows for that maximum air to go through it. Of course, you have a bunch of sensors in the front. Beautiful front splitters, and I love this pearl white color as well. Of course, you have the functional air intakes on the side for better aerodynamics, helping with the cooling of the brakes, etc. Now, underneath the hood, we have the stronger engine. Now, we've seen the similar setup before. We've seen it on the Genesis G70, 3.3 liter twin turbocharged V6 engine producing 368 horsepower, 376 pound-feet of torque, made it to an 8-speed automatic transmission. I gotta tell you, it can take this vehicle in 0 to 60 in about 4.6 seconds. So it's just a tad slower than the G70. But take a look at the setup right here. Look at this bracing right here for better rigidity, better performance. I love the hood struts on both sides. Now you also have the hood insulation right underneath here for better noise canceling. Ever since this vehicle came out, I like the design of it. And I know a lot of people did too, because it turns heads. It goes like, hey, what is it? It's pretty cool looking, and it does have the characteristics of a typical sports sedan. So it does have this long hood. It sits down, right? It sits very firmly on the ground and does have this short trunk. In this case, it is a fastback. See how it opens in a second. Let's take a look at the setup right here in the front. So it does have the 19-inch wheels, and I like the design of it. It does have the polished aluminum front. It does have the black inserts right inside of it, and see the red peeking through? Those are the Brembo calipers. So Brembo performance performance brakes. As far as the tires, they're staggered tires. They're 225 by 40 in the front, and they're 255 in the back. So again, this is a characteristics of a rear-wheel drive sport vehicle. Now if you look at this trim piece, pretty cool looking, right? Again, this smoked chrome, this is an actual and functional air exhaust right here. You also have this smoked chrome right on top of the mirrors, and the mirrors also have a turn signal indicator. They do have a blind spot assist and the camera that's built right inside of here. Now the chrome continues right on top of the windows, and then everything else is pretty nicely blacked out. Now we do have the smart entry system with this vehicle, right? I can lock it and unlock it basically with the push of the button without having to push any buttons on the key itself. And a nice design that has this kind of air tunnel to allow this air to kind of swoosh through this vehicle. Now this opens up, so let me take you to the back and show you how it's done. I gotta tell you, this is one sexy back end, and this is so recognizable right now. This Stinger right here, this light that goes inside the rear quarter panel continues through the lights. Now the fully LED lights, look at this. Again, you have those very visible turn signals, reverse lights, everything is built right here. The lights are connected through this light strip that is underneath this spoiler that's built into this gate, essentially this hatchback gate. Stinger, okay, so you have this cursive right here that's been the same since the inception of this vehicle, and scroll down right here, you have the reflector lights and this huge exhaust tip, so dual exhaust on both sides, and you have this shiny black diffuser right underneath here. Overall, A+ for the design of this vehicle. No wonder they're not changing it, it's just so good, right? So how do you open this hatch right here? There's a trunk release button on the key, and that's how it's done. It is a power hatch. It closes it the same way. Let's see how much room we have. So if you're looking to transport something that's a little bit taller, you can't do it in a lot of cars, but you can do it in here, just because it is kind of a hatchback, right? The sportback or a fastback, however you want to call it. So it does have this cargo cover. You can see the seats can be folded down 60/40. What's underneath here is we have the tools to remove the wheels, and then you also have a spare tire that's underneath here, so you're not going to get stranded on the road because the spare tire is here. There's really nothing else to show in here other than here there's a fuel filler door manual release handle, so in case you can't open your fuel tank, you can open it from here. So I have the front seat adjusted to my regular driving position. I'm 6 feet tall, in case you were wondering, and I'm touching my knee to the back of the seat. Now I do like to drive comfortably, so I could probably squeeze another ½ an inch, and that would be very close, but I wouldn't be at least touching it. Now as far as the headroom, I do have about 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches of headroom above my head, and I do have quite a bit of shoulder room, so definitely 4 people can fit in comfortably. Well, maybe not so comfortably when you're touching it, but you can spread your legs in here and then you're gonna be okay. Anyways, the interior is what makes this vehicle super cool. Let's check it out together. As always, let's start with the rear door panel right here. I like how it's leather wrapped, and what screams sporty more than the red interior of the vehicle? It's pretty cool, right? I like the stitching on the side of it. You do have the window controls. You do have the heated rear seats, which is a pretty premium option. You do have speakers right inside of the door panel right here. And then let's move over right here and let's take a look at the seating. Now the seats are premium leather seats. Very nice, very cool looking. By the way, Kia has also made available a suede interior, which looks absolutely fantastic. I was able to see it and sit in one. Unfortunately, this one doesn't have it, but that would be my preferred choice. Now let's take a look. Seat back, you know, they have those cargo nets, and right in the back, so the rear passengers do have the temperature control, their own vents, and they also have a USB and a 12-volt power adapter. Third person might not be very comfortable because of that bump in here, and that's a rear-wheel drive architecture. The footwell's fairly deep. Well, like I said, the legroom could be improved a little bit. Let's open and close the door. Let's see the quality of this vehicle. Boom. Nice, right? All right, and the door panel pops out with that red interior. It looks pretty cool, very sporty, very nice. Kind of like that stitching over here as well. I like the aluminum trim. You have that tweeter right there, and then the regular speaker in the middle, and then the big speaker right at the bottom of it. So you have two memory seat settings right here. You have the fully aluminum looking door handle basically, and then you have your window, mirror, door lock controls, all of that in here. So this is your panel over here. Let's take a look inside of this vehicle. Check this out. All right, we're going to start with seating. Okay, love the seats. Now the bolsters are inflatable, so if you put it in the sport mode, the bolsters will inflate, keep you in place right there. Now it does have several different adjustments on the seat, and that includes that knee rest right here. That's so important for a lot of shorter or taller people. They can set it up to their liking in here. And of course, if you look at the pedals, you have the aluminum pedals with the rubber studs on them, so that prevents your feet from slipping. And let's check out the rest of this interior. So the interior of the 2023 Kia Stinger is virtually unchanged from 2022. Let's take a close look at it. I really like this multi-tier dashboard. It is leather wrapped right here. It is nice and soft touch, plastic material over here. I even like the screen, even though it's not the biggest one, but it serves its purpose. It sits down low, it's not obstructed, and what's very important about it, it doesn't reflect any of the sun. Now we're in full sun, you can still see everything that's going on this screen. And let's move on. Now this particular one, this is the GT2. It does have the head-up display right there. I'm not sure if you can see it. Okay, it says 0, and then it has the lane keep assist right displayed on the windshield. All right, let's take a look at the steering wheel. First of all, look at the bottom of it. Flat bottom steering wheel, GT inscribed right in this aluminum trim, or this plastic but looks like aluminum. The steering wheel is just the right thickness. It does have the contrast stitching, not sure if you can see it, but it's got the red stitching right on the inside of it. That matches the interior color of this particular vehicle. Looks pretty cool. Brand new Kia logo. As always, we have a bunch of buttons on the steering wheel. So the left hand side, okay, there's a customized button, which is the mode button. Then you have the voice control. Then you have another customized button. So two customized buttons on the left hand side, and you have the phone button, volume button, and then you can change the different tracks in here. So on the other side, you have the pages button that controls what's going on in the instrument cluster. Then you have the cruise control, and you can adjust the distance between you and the car in front of you. And then you have your lane keep assist, and you have the scroll up and down and OK button. That's basically what the setup is. Behind the steering wheel right here, you can see it does have the pedal shifters. We're going to try them out while driving. Let's take a look at this instrument cluster right here. So Kia still has basically a non-digital instrument cluster. I know I got some heat for liking the non-digital instrument cluster on the Genesis, and I'm gonna stick with it. I really do like it. There's nothing wrong with that. I think it looks classic, and it still has a bunch of customization that you can have in the middle right there. So on the right hand side, you have a speedometer that goes up to 180 miles per hour, 290 kilometers. And then you have the fuel gauge on the left hand side, you have a tachometer, and then you have the temperature gauge. In the middle here, that's where you can do some customization. So first of all, you can see you have those sport gauges right there, that you have the pound-feet of torque, you have the turbo PSI, and then you have the oil temperature right there too. Then we can switch that. Okay, accumulated info, that's basically your trip. Then you go to the navigation. That's when you set the navigation, it's going to display the turn-by-turn direction. You also have your lane keep assist, and then the information, so you can change that as well. See tire pressure, or you can have the digital speedometer. Now let's go back to the gauges and let's see if we have any other ones. That's pretty much it. Then on top of here, you can see the range, 104 miles. At the bottom, 85 degrees outside. Brand new car's got 19 miles on it. So this is basically all of the customization that you have in here. So not a lot, not as much as you can see as the competition has, like the Mercedes-Benz or BMW or Audi for that matter. Now let's see if it's got my favorite feature. Okay, yes it does. So if you turn your turn signal to the right, it's going to display of what's going on the right hand side of the vehicle, and it's going to display what's going on the left hand side of the vehicle if you turn your left turn signal on. So this is one of my favorite features. I think it's super cool, and it also provides a lot of safety because it is definitely a blind spot assist. So let's take a look at what's going on in the infotainment system right here. We've seen this a million times. Well, let's check this out. So this is your main screen when it's sleeping, right? Is it touchscreen right there? Has to be, right? When you slide it over, you have your main menu, and so you've seen this purple menu before. You have map, navigation, phone projection. Let's check it out. Keep my fingers crossed. No, still doesn't have it. Says please connect the phone that supports Android Auto, Apple CarPlay with an approved USB cable. All right, people say, hey, it's not a big deal. It is to some people, and I'm one of them. Voice memo allows you to record a short voice memo to retrieve it later in case somebody calls you and you don't have anything to write it down. Climate control, here's your climate control settings. You can change the temperature. Actually, you can't change it through here. All right, you have to go through the bottom, and I'll show you what that's done. But that would be nice if it's on the screen already. Why not actually have it? I've seen that on Genesis. I think I was kind of disappointed with that too. HD radio data, radio media, Kia Connect setup. Let's go to the setup. Let's see if there's any cool things in here. Vehicle navigation, sound, device connection. Okay, that's where you customize the buttons. We've seen that on the steering wheel. So you hit that button or the button icon, and what it does, it lets you customize the custom button on the navigation, so I'll show you what that is. Custom button on the steering wheel, mode button on the steering wheel, and volume and tune knob. And what that does is basically can switch the positioning of the volume and tune knob from left to right, and then it can basically change the functions of those. User profiles, voice recognition, screen layout, display. Okay, so it can go to the display function. Blue light filter, that's important, especially right now with so much blue light that's getting into our eyes. Let's go user's manual, notifications. User's manual, by the way, you know, some people think it's a full user's manual. No, but it gives you a barcode that you can scan with your phone to get the user's manual on your phone right here. So notifications, back to the home screen. Now let's take a look at the map. Okay, displayed nicely. You can have a full display for the map. You can set the destinations. I know Kia wants you to use their navigation system, and truly it is an easy to use navigation system. Okay, you go to the navigation menu. You can search, okay, POI categories, safe places, Kia dealerships. All right, so POI categories, gas stations. Here's what's cool about it. Okay, especially right now, it's important, right? Speedway, gas at 455, Mobile 476, Marathon 480, 460. So you can choose your gas station based on the gas price, and that's a pretty cool feature. At least to me it is. Okay, go back to the main screen. As far as the radio, so you have the Harman Kardon stereo system. I know Genesis is using Lexicon, but Harman Kardon is a great brand, and I checked it out. It really sounds fantastic. Unfortunately, due to the copyright issues, I can't really show it to you. But you know what we can do? We can go actually to the sounds of nature, and we can check out at least a little bit. That probably gives you like the best reference as far as the depth of the speakers and the voice and the sound and all that stuff. So it really truly is impressive. You probably should get into one of those and check it out yourself to see for yourself. So that's a quick overview of the infotainment system. Let's scroll down in here. I gotta tell you, that big round vent. Now we've seen that on Mercedes-Benz, right? It's kind of very similar setup. Okay, the air conditioning is super cool. Like, I mean, literally, not only like super cool looking, but it is a cool climate control. All right, kind of got lost in there. Anyways, the power and volume knob, map, navigation. Here's another custom button in here. Here's your hazard lights, radio media setup. Then at the bottom here, that's where you actually set up your controls, climate control. So this is your temperature control. Now you also have your temperature control for the passenger, so that's a dual zone climate control in here. Now, what else do we have here? As far as I'm looking for the heated seats, so here they are. Okay, I'll show you that in a second. At the bottom here, you do have the USB connectivity. You also have your regular 12-volt adapter, and you do have a wireless charger right in here. Okay, I really like this short shifter right here for the Kia Stinger. It's very sporty. Okay, put it in drive, and then park is right here. So P, R, and D, you have different drive modes. We're going to go through them in just a little bit, and that's how you control the drive modes. You can also have the auto hold, traction control off, electronic parking brake, and that's where your heated and ventilated seats are. Now you have the parking sensors, you have the parking assist camera, and then you can turn off that automatic engine start stop button. All right, you have a little bit more storage in here for something smaller, and fairly shallow storage compartment, but actually it is here, and you can put some stuff in there. Overall, a very nice looking console right here. Pretty cool looking infotainment system. Let's take a look at two things. First of all, let's take a look at the rear view camera, since we have that on. Put it in reverse, see if anything changes. Okay, so you have the 360 camera on the right hand side, and then you have the regular camera right on the left hand side. You have different angles of the camera that you can choose from. Okay, so you have the side cameras, you have the rear camera, another rear camera, and then you have the top view camera on the side. Now, as far as the trajectory lines, let's take a look at it. Okay, what I like about Kia and Hyundai, that on the right hand side, pay attention to the trajectory line. It gives you the ability to see where the vehicle is going to turn. So if you have anything on the side of it, you're going to be able to avoid hitting it. So that's a pretty cool system. Now, one pet peeve of mine is the quality of the camera system, and I think this could be so much better. I mean, it is decent, but it's not as good as some of the German competitors. All right, let's go back to the instrument cluster, because that's where we're going to see how the drive mode changes. And let's change the drive modes to see what there is. First of all, let's put it in park. Okay, and then we have different drive modes. So you have the sport, custom, comfort, eco, and smart. And I tell you what happens when you put it in sport mode. The bolsters on the seats inflate to keep you in better place, and that's pretty much it. There's nothing really that you can see as far as visually on the instrument cluster, which is so cool, and some of the fully digital displays. So I guess, you know, I kind of know why people are complaining of not having a fully digital display, because that animation could be so much cooler and better, have more information, be more customizable. So yeah, Kia, if you do decide to keep this vehicle for another year, give us a fully digital instrument cluster. Well, let's move back here and move up over here, so you can see you have some controls over here for your sunroof. Now, this is not a panoramic sunroof, it is just a regular size sunroof. Not bad, but you know, we could probably use a panoramic sunroof or a double sunroof, something like this. But it does have a nice windscreen in here, and then we have the regular lights over here on both sides, and then some controls for the lights, emergency, and then you have illuminated mirrors. How you guys doing? Right there, this is your illumination. You have the same thing for the driver and passenger. So this is the interior of this vehicle. Let's take it for a spin. Okay, guys, the vehicle is running. As you can see, I'm all buckled in, ready to go. But before we do that, let's go over a few things. First of all, the gas mileage. 20 as a combined gas mileage for this rear-wheel drive model, 18 in the city, 25 on the expressway. Crash rating 5 stars, overall crash rating by IHSS. So you're looking at the 2023 Stinger GT2 rear-wheel drive V6. Total MSRP on this vehicle, $53,840. That's with the destination. It's not including any other dealer options or anything like this. Now, if you take a look at the Kia website, 2023, the specs are already here. They're about $300 more across the line than the 2022 was. So not bad at all. So two different trim levels are available. GT line starting at $36,590 and the GT2 starting at $51,790. So those are the two different trim levels, two different engine options. Now, just a reminder, in 2022, Kia updated their 2.0 liter four-cylinder engine to the 2.5 turbocharged engine that's now producing 300 horsepower. So that's still the same. So the 2.5 300 horsepower or the 3.3 with 368 horsepower. Take it for a spin. Let's go around in circles so people think we're crazy, but that's in actuality. I just want to check out the turning radius on this vehicle. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. Probably right here. How about this? Spot just good as any of the other ones. Turn the wheel all the way to the left, and we're going to count the parking spots. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pretty cool. Actually 4 and just a little bit more than 4 parking spots. So in line with this segment. So overall feel of this vehicle, definitely sporty, but it's not super stiff. Now it's still got that comfort of ride that is better than Mercedes-Benz in my opinion, but you know, you can definitely feel that this vehicle wants to go, and that is definitely performance oriented. We're going to check that out. As a matter of fact, right here, where I'm going to stop for a second here, and then we're gonna gun it. Definitely can handle itself, get up to 50 miles an hour in no time. So I like the sound of it too. It's not overly aggressive. Now I am in the sports mode. It's not overly aggressive, but it definitely lets you know that, hey, I'm capable, don't mess with me. I like this vehicle. I like it a lot. The bolsters, okay? So like I mentioned before, they inflated when I put it in the sports mode, but then again, I'm not squashed by them. So it's still enough room, even for me, to sit fairly comfortable. Now I'm gonna put it in the regular comfort mode, and you can feel deflation right here. So it's much wider, it's much more comfortable, and definitely I didn't feel too much of a difference. Maybe now you can see that the vehicle relaxed a little bit, but not bad. So even in the comfort mode, it feels pretty sporty. Again, we do a 360 here. Wow. You can definitely, there's a huge difference between the rear-wheel drive vehicle and the front-wheel drive. It's pushing versus pulling, right? So, but it also feels different while, you know, sitting in the vehicle. Now, on a straight line might not be a huge difference. In a lot of cornering, I'd probably opt in for the all-wheel drive and spend the extra money to get that. But overall, this is a pretty solid vehicle. I don't know, you know, if somebody asked me, hey, what would you take? Would you take the Genesis G70 or would you take the Kia Stinger GT2? And it would be a coin toss, really. For me, now I like both of those vehicles. So, you know, the Genesis is definitely more luxurious. So you have more luxury accents in there, a little bit nicer as far as the infotainment system, very similar features, but kind of the layout and that sepia brown color in here, and then all of the amenities of the interior and that Napa quilted leather. I mean, that definitely has its advantages if you're looking for a luxury vehicle, right? Now, if you're looking for a sporty, this one definitely has the more sporty feel. It's got the sportier steering wheel, it's got the sportier look on the outside, it's got this red interior, so it's got its advantages as well. Now, this vehicle is a little bit bigger, so if you are a bigger person or need more room, maybe this would be a better fit for you. And as far as the performance, you know, surprisingly, this one is about 0.1 seconds slower, 0 to 60. So not a huge difference, but there is a little bit of a difference. So again, let me know what you think, or what would you choose if you were to buy a Kia Stinger or Genesis G70. To me, I think I'd close my eyes, flip a quarter, and that would be a decision making for myself. What would you do? Let me know. Guys, thanks a lot for watching. Thank you very much. I appreciate every single view. I appreciate every single subscriber. So if you haven't already, go to the bottom of the screen, hit that subscribe button. I hope this was helpful, and I hope I see you in my next video. Cheers.